Mega. I'm Shunta Tamsalam. Today we're going to do a short interview regarding my mini project for my social linguistics subject. Okay, before we go into question, can you intro yourself?
Okay, I'm Meglody Shankar. I'm doing BTESA and I'm currently in semester 4.
Okay, without any delay, we just go to question one. Can you give
Okay.
any specific example of how you practice social linguistics in online communication? For instance, short forms and word choice.
Okay, in voice of short forms, maybe I can tell that, right, we always use the alphabet U to instead of U,
Yes.
and maybe BTW for by the way, and IDK for I don't know, and ASAP for as soon as possible. So in voice of short forms, these are the sociolinguistic that I mostly use in the online platform. And word choice wise, maybe I can tell using casual language and emojis. For example, can't wait for the weekend with the emoji of party showing and posting it online.
Okay. For the second question, differentiate between different type of online platform and context. What are the positive and negative consequences of the platform that you mostly use?
Okay, first wise differentiate the platforms. Maybe I can tell social media platforms, which includes Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and etc. And by e-commerce platforms, we can tell that Shopee, Lazada, Shein, where we always buy and sell goods and service using the online purchase media. Okay, and the second one is positive consequences and negative consequences of the media I mostly use is TikTok. So the positive consequences of TikTok, I would say creativity and expression. Platform provide a platform for users to express their creativity through short form videos, allowing them to showcase their talent, skills, and many more. And also, it TikTok fosters a sense of community among users with shared interests, hobbies, and challenges. Negativity in voice of or for TikTok, I would say privacy concerns because TikTok has faced scrutiny over its collection practice and security measures, raising concerns about users' privacy and the potential for data misuse or exploitation. And the second negative consequences may be misinformation and harmful content. We always see many harmful content by TikTok also what. So maybe I would say it spread misinformation and also fake news for the people who believe and maybe they follow that type of things.
Okay. For the last question, could you provide specific example of social and culture factors that intersect with your online social linguistic practices?
Okay, for this one, I would choose multilingualism because we, as a Malaysian, we have many different type of ethnics here, which is people have including Malaysia, English, Chinese, and they all have their own slang. How to say? They all talk in different languages. So Malaysia is a multilingual country, as I say. So this reflected the online communication where users may code switch or use a combination of languages depending on the context, audience, and purpose of their communication. So if let's say that someone is a person is a Malay guy and he want to communicate through the social media, he straightly cannot use the Malay word since the social media platform is used by many type of different people around the world. So for them to understand that context, he the person need to use English to other people so can easily communicate. So that's what my understand based on this.
Oh, all right, Mega. I already get my lot of information. Thank you for your information and the timing.
Okay, Shanita, welcome.
I'm Sunita Tamaselvam. Today we're going to do a short interview regarding to my mini research on social linguistic subject. Without any delay, just intro yourself.
Hello, I'm Varsha. I'm a student at College Community Tebelo as a building maintenance.
Okay, without any delay, we just move to the question one. Can you give any specific example of how you practice your social linguistic in online communication? For instance, short forms and word choice.
I think in online communication, I adapt my language to match the context and tone of the conversation. These include using appropriate short form like lol or but the way in casual chats, while opting for more formal language in professional discussions. Additionally, I pay attention to word choice to convey the intended meaning effectively and considerate of cultural nuances.
Okay, we just moved to the second question, which is differentiate between different type of online platform and context. What are the positive and negative consequences of the platform that you mostly used?
The platform that I usually use is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. These platforms enable users to share content, connect with friends, or engage in social interaction. And the positive consequences is increased connectivity and social interaction. Social media platforms allow people to stay connected with friends, family, and neighbors, and expanded access into the information and knowledge. Platforms like streaming and educational sites provide users with wealth of information.
Okay, for the negative.
Okay, for the negative, privacy and data concerns. The collection and use of personal data by online platforms and raise privacy concerns and lead to portion misuse or explanation of user information. And second, addiction and excessive screen time. The addictive nature of some platforms combined with the constant availability of digital content.
Okay, for the third question, could you please provide specific example of society and culture factor that intersect with your online social linguistic practices?
Okay, I think online platforms such as social media, e-commerce, content sharing, communication, and education serve different purposes and create unique online environments. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram facilitate communication and community building, while e-commerce platforms like Amazon, eBay, and Etsy offer convenience but can also lead to impulse buy and security risks. Content sharing platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Pinterest can provide entertainment but can also expose users to harmful content. Communication platforms like email and video conferring can blur work and personal boundaries, while education platforms like Coursera offer flexible learning opportunities but may lack personality feedback.
Okay, Varsha, thank you for your information and the timing.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Nivashini. Today we're going to do a short interview regarding my mini research in social linguistics subject. Okay, without any delay, we just going to the question. For the first question, can you give any specific example of how you practice social linguistic in online communication? For instance, short forms and word choice.
Okay, usually I will choose to say IDK, okay? So instead of saying I don't know, usually when we are messaging, I always prefer to use short form instead of, writing long terms. Like, for an example, IDK, it's meant to be I don't know, all right? So another example will be GTG. I will just type GTG instead of saying I got to go, or also like BRB instead of saying be right back. So in this way it actually saves my time. Okay, sometimes we don't really have much time when we are messaging. It's all like we want to write it down and we have to send the message and we have to do the next job. So this is how I will use the short terms instead of writing down the long term.
Okay. For the second question, differentiate between different type of online platforms and contexts. What are the positive and negative consequences of the platform that you mostly use?
All right. I would say that there are certain words that actually don't exist in dictionary. Okay, when we flip the dictionary, we sometimes don't see the words that we are using at this current generation. For an example, we tend to use certain words so that we could understand easily, and also sometimes we tend to make things fun. Okay, for an example, there's no such thing as legit. Okay, like for an example, you say she's legit, she doesn't want to do this thing, she's legit lazy. It's something that you want to describe a situation, okay, to bring that intense. But then the word legit is not exist, it doesn't exist in dictionary. Okay, it's something that created recently to just for fun, or to just ease people's understanding. All right. So it's you can also say that communication, is it seems more fun, and also it doesn't need to be correct all the time. There's no such thing as correct grammar or correct punctuations when you're using these terms. Okay, so the most important thing is whether the person understands that or not, whether the person laughs at our joke or not. So something like that, if you see that memes are created for this generation, as you can see, they are not they don't write complete sentence or with a perfect grammar or perfect punctuation, but when you see it, you can understand already. It makes you laugh. So that is what the context is. It has many difference for language back then and now. So I would say that for positivity, it's like it's way easier for us to understand. Okay, we can connect easily without talking a lot. At the same time, for negative feedback, I would say that it in terms of education, people are not going to know the perfect grammar, people are not going to know that perfect punctuation, when to use it. They are just simply going to use the language, or to speak that language without knowing that proper context. That is the negativity. So I will say that there are positives and negatives at the same time. Yeah.
Okay. For the third question, could you provide specific example of society and culture factors that intersect with your online social linguistic practices?
Okay, so basically, if you see in English, there's no such word as yo, right? But then when you meet your friends, you actually tend to say that yo, what's up, like that. But in dictionary or any field that you learn, there's no such word as yo, right? Yo, what's up? It has no meaning, but it's actually recognized by people as a greeting. You greet people when you say that, isn't it? For another example is, usually people will say, hey, did you see her story? Did you saw my story last night? So basically, what is story? We actually learn what is story. It's something that we are, it's describing an event, describing something that has happened. It might be fictional as well. You're saying something that has happened, that you call that a story. But now, for the current generation, when you say the word story, what does it mean? It's mean that you posted something on social media for 24 hours. You posted your picture, you posted a status, something that it's going to have the validity for 24 hours. You call that a story. So I would say that these are the examples that how language evolve when years change as well. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your information and timing, Ivashini. Sunita Counselor. Today I'm going to do a short interview regarding my image research to my social linguistics subject. Without any delay, you just intro yourself first.
Hello, my name is Mastura. Do you want me to introduce where I'm from?
Yes.
Okay, currently I'm staying at Shah Alam for doing my study. Okay, you can go further with your questions.
Okay, for the first question, can you give any specific example of how you practice social linguistics in online communication? For instance, short forms and word choice.
Oh, okay. In online communication, I adapt my language used to suit the context and the expectation of form for the audience. It's involve using short forms or abbreviation commonly used in digital communication, such as lol or laugh out loud. Actually, it's for or BRB, be right back. Okay. I also pay attention to word choice to ensure that my messages are clear and easily understandable to the recipient. For example, I might use emoji or emotion to convey tone or emotion in text-based conversation. Mostly, I will use emoji because it's the most easier and simple way to show what I'm feeling at that moment. Additionally, I consider the cultural background and preference of the individual or group I communicating with to avoid misunderstanding and promote effective communication. This practice helped me navigate the nonsense of social linguistic in online iteration and facilitate meaningful communication in various digital platforms.
Okay. For the second question, differentiate between different type of online platforms and contexts. What are the positive and negative consequences of the platform for that you mostly use?
Different between type of online platform and context. The positive and negative consequence of platform mostly used. Hmm. For online platform, collaboration platform like purpose is for my enable to teamwork, communication and elaboration among the users like Slack, Microsoft Teams, Google Workspace, the online learning platform to offer educational courses and resources for learning. Example like Coursera, Udemy, Khan Academy. In the positive consequences of using online platform is increased connectivity and communication with others so that the people can access to a wide range of products and service from the comfort of your home because you have to sit at home, just open your laptop or your phones. For negative consequences of using online, it's contain the privacy concerns and data security risks by spreading or misinformation and fake news.
Okay, for the last question, could you please specific example of society and culture factor that intersect with your online social linguistic practices?
Specific example for of societal. Is it societal?
Yeah, social.
For okay, societal and cultural factors play a significant role in shaping my online social linguistic practice. For instance, when communicating with individuals from different cultural backgrounds, I'm mindfully of language nonsense like idiomatic expression and culture reference that may not be universally understood by other people. I strive to use inclusive language and avoid terms or expression that could be considered offense or insensitive in a diverse culture context because let's say if I chatting with my close friend or my relative, I will use the short form and I will just use the emoji. But if I'm texting with other people that I don't know them, I tend to text them in a full and formally to them. So additionally, societal norms regarding politeness, formality, and hierarchy influence the tone and style of my online communication. For example, when interacting with individuals from cultural that values indirect communication or formalities, I adjust my language used to reflect this preference. Mm, Moreover, societal attitudes towards the gender, race, and other identity makers inform my language choices to promote respect, inclusivity, and sensitivity in online interaction. By considering these societal and cultural factors, I aim to foster effective communication and build positive relationship in a diverse digital landscape.
Okay,
That's all my answer.
okay, that's all the question also done. Thank you for your information, timing.
Okay, you're welcome.
Hi Shiva, I'm Sunita Tamselvan. Today I'm going to do a short interview regarding my mini research to social linguistics subject. Without any delay, you just intro yourself first.
Okay, I'm Siva. I'm currently in middle of jobs soon manager for a watch company, and also as part time, I'm a local artist. I communicate a lot in social media, and also I'm a master degree student right now. I'm doing my business admin MBA. Yeah.
Okay, we just move to the first question. Can you give any specific example of how you practice social linguistics in online communication? For instance, short forms and word choice.
Okay. For example, it depends actually. If we use WhatsApp or something like that. So if it's the target audience, who are we talking to? If I'm talking to my boss, definitely not much of short forms there, and not much of emojis there. So because the things we want to deliver, the information, the things need to be very specific. So there won't be much of a short form there. We most of the things is like we trying to copy everything from the email and then we just forward it as sending a message. Okay, but then with friends and or my fans or followers, normally I will engage with more short form. So it's like a generation trend or something like that. I don't want to be out of trend or something, because most of my clients are actually youngsters, so I have to like be in the same vibe with them. So sometimes I use all those short forms and emojis. Sometimes I also don't understand what is that short form, but being thick skin, I will ask them actually what is that, because I can learn and then I can vibe with them or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, for the second question, differentiate between different type of online platforms and contexts. What are the positive and negative consequences of the platform that you mostly use?
Okay, mostly let's put it in like a casual like a networking platform, and also another professional platform. In professional platform, let's like just like Job Street, Indeed, or sometimes like for example, I said I'm newly going to be area manager, right? So over there is actually they hate hunt me. I didn't apply for the job. So over there my conversations were very professional, very direct to the point, because I want to impress someone. So they actually saw my CV and then they want to like give me an opportunity. So over there, I keep it very professional. But then the other platform is like something like informal a bit, maybe TikTok, or maybe how to say Instagram or Facebook or something like that. Over there, you can actually post something, um, but then you still have to aware of what you're posting. Sometimes it might backfire you. It will bring how to say into a judgment. People will judge you on what you're posting. Sometimes we like currently we have to be aware of the situation, because now for example we have some boycott going on, right? Suddenly we post about McDonald's. Oh, I love this McDonald's so much. We still need to think of our Muslim friends are currently involved in this boycott and all these things, all right? So over there we have to like control what we are going to send. But then in the other professional platform, our CV is already there, all our detail, our education, everything is over there. So whatever you say needs to be truth. Yeah, so that's how I differentiate it.
Okay, for the last question, could you provide specific example of societal and cultural factor that intersect with your online social linguistic practices?
Come again, sorry.
Oh, could you provide specific example of societal and culture factors that intersect with your online social linguistic practices?
Okay, let's say in my situation, I'm as I say in a local artist, so I do a lot of Tamil songs. But I also have my Malay friends and Chinese friends following me, and also other countries also following me, like Australia, like Singapore. Most of them, it's a international thing. But so whenever I speak, I need to think of that also, their culture, and what am I prompting here. So my message needs to be very clear. This is local Malaysian Tamil song, something like that. This is for a movie. So everything needs to be very specific on. Who am I targeting this message to be reached, so that I won't get funny questions like, hey, what is this? Whose song is this? So everything needs to be very specific, lah. That's how I uh, yeah, send out the message.
Okay, all right, sir. Thank you for your information and time.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening. I'm Edwina Joyce, daughter of Ramakesh from BSL, and I would like to interview you regarding my project, which is Introduction to Sociolinguistics. So this is my mini research on the topic of exploring sociolinguistic practice in online communication among teenagers. So before we go to our first question, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Madhimitra Prakasham from B Tessel as well.
Okay, so shall we go to our first question?
Yeah, we can.
So the first question is, can you give any specific examples of how you practice social linguistics in online communication, for instance, short forms and word choice?
To illustrate it more well, usually I use text messages to communicate with my friends. Usually I will use casual and informal language to communicate with them. I also use short form and observation via texting them, such as keep in touch, KIT, uh, ASP, as soon as possible, and so on.
Okay, so could you differentiate between different types of online platforms and context? And what are the positive and negative consequences of the platforms that you mostly use?
The first platform I usually use is social media platform, which we can use to interact with people, and we can share our personal updates there, and also we can create multimedia content to entertain others. In this case, positive consequences are like we can connect with our friends and family easily. Moreover, it also creates a platform for us to express our feelings and thoughts. Furthermore, it also helps us to increase our creativity as well. The second thing is the negative consequences. The chances of getting harassed and bullied is high there. Apart from that, there are risk of addiction too, which will lead to create any health issues and also mental issues as well.
Okay, so what social media platform that you mostly use that you mentioned this kind of positive and negative consequences? Is that like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook? So what kind of social media that you mostly use?
The most used social media is Instagram. Like people nowadays wants to create content, they will share with others. It is like easy to communicate with people and to share things with them.
Okay, that was a very good answer. So my third question is, could you provide specific examples of societal and cultural factors that intersect with your online social linguistic practices?
Yes, first and foremost, the culture, norms, and values I got from there. Like I learned how to text politely and formally. In when we are texting someone, there are hierarchy as well. We should use accurate terms to address people. Whenever we want to address people such as teachers or lecturer, we should use the correct terms to address them. The second thing is generation difference. Like people, young generation nowadays, they create new slang observations which we don't have any idea about. So whenever we want to communicate with age different people, we should learn some new things, and also we should use the correct observation to the correct people.
That was a very nice answer also. So only these are the questions for my interview session. And thank you for your time to joining this interview session. Thank you, Madhu.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Edwina Joyce, daughter of Ramahesh, and I'm pursuing my BTESL in MACGB. So today I would like to interview you regarding my final project, which is Introduction to Sociolinguistics. So before we move to our first question, could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, Joyce. My name is Durga Devi, daughter of Murugan. I am studying for entrepreneurship tourism from UMK.
So, we are going to move to our first question. This is the first question. Can you give any specific examples of how you practice social linguistics in online communication? For instance, short forms and word choice.
Yeah, sure. I usually like to use short form as is easier to type and communication in online. For instance, LOL mean laugh out loud. Thus, I don't need to type longer in online platforms. Other than that, I'm also use African American vernacular English as it make the English language to be casual. For instance, means it's kind for and I'm gonna means and I'm going to.
Okay, that was a very nice answer, Durga. So this is the second question. Differentiate between different types of online platforms and context. What are the positive and negative consequences of the platforms that you mostly use?
I use social media platforms. The most social media platform I use is Facebook and YouTube to look for more information for the completion of my projects, see short videos based on my assignments, the topics. This is the positive impact of the both platforms. The negative impact will be these two social media platforms use can lead to anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. Exposure to unrealistic beauty standards and harmful content can be damaging to students' mental health. Also, it affects student writing using these lines of short forms and informal language. When we get to stick to it, it's difficult to explain the terms and points in formular language when we are doing writing practice such as essay.
That was true, Durga. So this is my last question. Could you provide specific examples of societal and cultural factors that intersect with your online social linguistic practices?
Language can be different when talking to elders in real situations and friends in online. We talk with polite and respect without any short forms in a proper manner when talking with the others. When talking or communicating with fans in online, I use information language and blend of language like jom, lepak in mama lah. So this include mix of language which is Malay and English, and I won't talk in this way with my grandparents in real.
It was a very nice answer, Durga. So, these are my interview session, interview questions for the interview session. So, thank you so much for your time joining in this interview session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Edwina Joyce Tota from Mahesh and I'm pursuing my BTESL in MSUJB. So today I would like to interview you regarding my final project, which is Introduction to Sociolinguistics. So before we move to our first question, could you please introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you for giving this opportunity. And my name is Preeti Angatase. I'm studying Bachelor of Creative Technology in UMK.
Okay, so shall we move to our first question, Prityanga?
Yeah, can.
So the first question is, can you give any specific examples of how you practice social linguistics in online communication? For instance, short forms and word choice.
Okay. In online communication, I just my language based on context and user style. This can include using contraction, informal language, adapting to the tone of conversation. For example, if a user trained to use colonial language and abbreviation, I mirror that style to better connect with them. Similarly, if a conversation is more formal, I just according by using complete sentence and avoiding slang.
That was a nice answer, Preeti. So the second question is, could you differentiate between different types of online platforms and contexts? What are the positive and negative consequences of the platforms that you mostly use?
Okay, here breakdown of different type of online platform and their context along with the positive and negative consequences. Okay, first one, social media platform. In term of content, social media platform like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram are primarily used for sharing personal updates, connecting with friends, family, and receiving contact. And first of all, positive conquest. It facility easy communication and networking allow user to express themselves creatively and provide a platform for activism and awareness campaign. And second one, negative can lead to addiction and mental health issue. Um, per perspective echo and misinformation and raise privacy connection.
That was a very nice answer too, Preeti. So this is the last question. Could you provide specific examples of societal and cultural factors that intersect with your online social linguistic practices?
Okay, certainly, sociality and cultural factor play a significant role in shaping online socialistic practice. Okay, here some specific example. First, language vibration. Social and culture norms influence language vibration online. For example, the use of slang and code switching can vary based on uh, factors such as religion, ethnicity, and social group. The second one, politeness norms. Cultural norms, what is considered polite and appropriate language in online interaction. And some culture may priorities formal language in indirect communication, while other may value directness and inform informality.
That was a very
Okay,
good
that's it.
answer, Preeti. So thank you for taking time to this interview session and I had a great time with you in this interview session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Edwina Joyce Tota from Mahesh and I'm pursuing BTESL in MSUJP. So today I would like to interview you regarding my final project, which is Introduction to Sociolinguistics. So before we move to our first question, could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Miss Edwina. My name is Lishna Subramaniam. I am from Unita JB and I have studied for Diploma in Business Administrations.
So, welcome, Sudeshna. And shall we move to the first question?
Yeah, Ken.
So, can you give any specific examples of how you practice social linguistics in online communication? For example, short forms and word choice.
Okay, I will use short form to text or put caption quickly. For instance, GWS means get well soon and IDK means I don't know. It takes shorter time only rather than telling in full name. Thus, it's easier for me to type when I'm communicating in online.
That's good, Sudeshna. So, secondly, differentiate between different types of online platforms and contexts. What are the positive and negative consequences of the platforms that you mostly use?
Okay, I will use forum platforms, the most like Quora and Reddit to know many information from them for my assignments and projects. In terms of contact, forum platforms such as Reddit and Quora are communicates where users engage in discussion on various topics, ask questions, and share knowledge. Positive conservations are offers diverse communications for discussions and learning, process knowledge sharing, and problem solving, and provides a platform seeking advice and expertise. Negative conservations can be prone spread of misinformation if not properly moderated and may foster toxic behavior in certain communicators.
That was a good answer, Sudeshna. So, this is the last question. Could you provide specific examples of societal and cultural factors that intersect with your online social linguistic practices?
Okay, first of all, is language policies. This is because socialite attitudes towards language policies, such as official languages or language education, can influence linguistic practices online. This includes the use of dominated languages versus minority languages and efforts to preserve or revitalize endangered languages. Secondly, is globalizations, the intercontinental of online communications transcends geographical boundaries, leading to the spread of languages and culture. Practices across culture, this can result in language building, borrowing, and the emergence of the new linguistic phenomena.
That was a very good answer, Sudeshna. So, thank you for taking your time to join this interview session. Thank you.
Thank you, Edwina. Welcome.
Good evening. I'm Edwinajas Mahesh from BTESL and I'm pursuing my degree in MSUJB. So today I would like to interview you regarding my final project, which is Introduction to Sociolinguistics. So before we move to our first question, could you please introduce yourself?
My name's Hema. My course is Diploma in Early Childhood in MSUJB.
Okay, so shall we move to our first question?
Can.
Okay, so the first question is, can you give any specific examples of how you practice social linguistics in online communication? For instance, short forms and word choice.
Okay. I will use aversive African American Recurrent English, such as short forms and abbreviations. I use like a gotha, which means I'm gone, which means I am going, going, and so on. I also use the short form like thank you, which means thank you, and WC, which means welcome.
Okay, so that's nice, Hema. So the second question is, could you please differentiate between different types of online platforms and context, and what are the positive and negative consequences of the platforms that you mostly use?
Okay. I mostly use app is messaging platform. In terms of context, messaging platform such as WhatsApp, Messenger, and iMessenger are used for one of our group conversation often in real time. The positive considerations are it enables instant communication, foster acute extensions and communication, and facilitates staying in touch with friends and family regardless of geographical distances. The negative concerns are it may contribute to information overload, lack privacy and security features, and be susceptible to spam and phishing attacks.
That was a good answer, Hema. So the last question is, could you provide specific examples of societal and cultural factors that intersect with your online social linguistic practices?
Okay. First of all is power dynamic is the this is because society histories and power structures and impact online communication, race, age, and social class, which may influence who speak, how they are pronounced, and whose voice are pronounced or marginalized.
That was a very nice answer, Hema. Thank you for your time and thank you for joining in this interview. Thank you.
Welcome.